Great to have your company again, Gemini. Dadhichi here from astrology.com.au, and the large number of planets here at the lower part of your horoscope has a lot to do with your feelings. If you take a look at this east-west axis, based upon where the sun was at the time you were born, you'll notice that a lot of the planets here are under the Earth, invisible. So we see this month, soon after that new moon, the four planets here: Mercury, Mars, Sun and Venus, in the fourth house of feelings, emotions. And so you need to, which is unusual for you, because I was about to say you may be bottling up your feelings this month, and it's important for you, the communicator of the zodiac, ruled by Mercury here, to express that if you can. Of course, I say to people that often the communication we have between each other is only maybe 4% verbal, the rest is non-verbal. So when I say communicate, I don't just simply mean chit-chat. I mean communicating how you feel, maybe in terms of non-verbal ways, acknowledging others through eye movement, different sorts of gestures. Acknowledge others, and you will find that, at least if you're not in the mood for talking, that you're not going to incur their wrath. The Moon and Jupiter here conjoin in your area of relationships around the 6th. So that ordinarily is quite good for communication, but you see here you've still got that tension. But the deeper aspects of your personality, shown by this 8th house, are a better support to your feelings in this first week or so of the month. A deeper analysis of your feelings, sexuality, matters of intimacy, shown by the transit of the moon in this 8th house, conjoining the South Node and Pluto. So this is very, very transformative for you in terms of your relationships. And again, these trine aspects are very useful for showing you the way out if you're stuck, if you're being challenged in that area. The moon moves away from all of that deep, dark stuff around the 10th or 11th. You notice it's moving closer to your 10th house here, which is your career sector. And this is a very important period of the month, around the 14th, when the moon enters into this area and makes this opposition to not only the sun, which is what we call the full moon, but to Mercury, Venus and Mars. You may be impulsive, you may want things to happen quicker than you are able to. The opposition here is not quite exact with, it is quite exact here. Neptune and Mars can be rather nebulous, and that shows your decisive action is hampered by your vision. So you need to bring some congruity or some consistency to what it is you're trying to achieve, especially under that full moon. It's going to shine a very big light on your professional activities. The 11th house here is friendships after the 16th. Maybe some problems there with the square aspect to these planets in the 8th house. You may be looking for a deeper, more meaningful relationship, and that's shown from that conjunction of planets at the outset. A rather erratic Moon-Uranus combination around the 17th in your 12th house. You may be looking at your past in the wrong way. You may be overreacting to things you've done or said. You need to eliminate the shame, guilt. Those emotions are not going to help you once the deed has been done. You need to find ways to resolve those issues, to find forgiveness in yourself and forgiveness in others. The opposition to Jupiter is rather wasteful around the 21st. You don't have to be so effusive. You may be swinging from this area of suppressing your feelings to just swinging the other way and saying too much, giving too much. You have to find balance this month. Notice also the Moon-Venus transit this month into your 5th house. That happened a little bit earlier. I missed it because this thing moves rather quickly, but this is very good. And there we see on the 22nd the ingress of the sun into the same area, bringing with it a real upswing in your creative and romantic aspirations at that time. If you've wanted to somehow find an outlet for these feelings, creativity, sport, fifth house is also sporting activities, that sort of dimension of activity will give you an outlet for these unresolved feelings. We see here this Mars is retained in the fourth house, and I dare say for the rest of the month it's not going to make it out of here. So you've got to be rather careful here, especially with this lingering opposition from Neptune to Mars. That also has something to say about pharmaceuticals, narcotics, escapism. You see here, if you've got some problems in the family arena, you maybe try to find some way to escape that through, having a few too many drinks or associating with the wrong sort of people. And there around the 28th, I think that's going to be a trigger, just as the moon makes conjunction with that Mars. That can be a real hotspot in the month. And once again, I said earlier, if you've been suppressing a lot of your feelings, Gemini, then this could be an explosive couple of days here just at the end of the month. Breathe, just chill out. And I often say too, you don't have to solve every problem immediately. You can put that on the tin roof for a while, just let it sit there and just observe before you make any dramatic moves. Notice here also, as we started the month here in the fourth house, with all this suppression of feeling, the latter part of the month seems to show us most of these planets, and a new moon again here in the fifth house, indicating a whole new chapter starting for the way that you approach, the way you express yourself, the way you approach romance. If you're a parent, the way you look at and interact with your children. So that is a very, very nice new chapter unfolding there. You've got that challenge from the eighth house, that eighth house of intimacy and shared resources. So that is also going to be part of the balancing act for you as this month concludes. That is September 2019. Please join me at astrology.com.au. I've got lots more there to tell you. I've also got an invitation for all of you, if you'd like to have a more personal reading with me, to sit down face to face like this and address specifics for you based upon your time and place of birth. That's the real astrology, and I do it in a Vedic system, which is totally fascinating. I'd love to share some of that with you on a personal one-on-one. Do join me next month again. Take care for now. Bye-bye.